we're actually bringing out some truths, peel back the layers of all this fluff.
Shining the light on this industry as a whole. Maybe you should stay away from it.
Hi everybody, welcome to Real Estate Raw&Uncut. This is episode 121. I'm Byron Lazine, he's Tim Barre.
What's happening? How we doing?
We got an impromptu Real Estate Raw&Uncut, spur of the moment.
That's usually the way it is, isn't it?
Well, they're always spur of the moment Monday morning. This one just happens to be random, super random. So, Tim, a little fired up.
Well, we tend to be super opinionated about things, but I think what it is when we have strong opinions on topics is because we're passionate.
Yeah.
And they're for a reason.
Absolutely.
Right? We see maybe something that's being done in the industry and say, well, why is it being done that way? Put a big question mark in there.
I made a comment on our radio show, which you can stream anywhere in the country, 949newsnow.com, on Saturday, that we're getting a little blowback from here locally.
Yeah.
And one of the questions, we had a couple politicians on the show, and one of the call-in questions was, how can we get more jobs in the state of Connecticut, more people into our state? And I just said, well, all I know is real estate, so let me look at something that could be tweaked and adjusted in the real estate industry to bring more people in the state. We have about 20 real estate boards currently. Now, one of the things I threw out there was consolidating these boards, and initially you'd say, well, consolidating is actually taking jobs away, right, from hardworking people that are part of these board of realtors. That being said, all these 20 board of realtors are competing with one another to bring in more real estate agents, more licensed agents to their board.
But hold on, and while they're doing that, there's no free flow of information among those different boards. Right. So you and I mean, you're going everywhere, you're all over the country. I think you're going to California next week to learn.
A couple days.
So, but we need to embrace one another in our differences and try to find out where other boards are failing.
Yeah.
That way we're not, and become stronger.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
So, that's not being done, though. What you're seeing is boards competing against each other to get more real estate licensed agents on their board. Now, if the market was crazy good, which I know in a lot of the country it is, here in Connecticut, guess what? It's not crazy good. High levels of inventory, lots of homes, few buyers. So we're going to recruit all these agents for what? The hope the market gets better, as opposed to taking that board money that they're spending on trying to recruit agents, advertise to recruit agents, all that money they're spending. How about you take the money and put it into ad campaigns that bring people into the state to visit?
Into the state.
Business into the state. We saw, for the first time in 2015, more people leave Connecticut than people that entered to choose to live here. Right. So, if you start at the core of our problem, now you're bringing more people in. The agents that you actually have that are paying you a yearly fee now have more work to do and can actually keep their job.
But you got to remember, the way these are nonprofits and they're set up in such a way, but they are business, right? So you've got a president at the helm of each one of these. So their pay is geared towards profits.
Right.
Yet they're a nonprofit. So there's definitely a mix, of information that, are you trying to succeed? But if you make too much money as a nonprofit, now the eyes of the IRS are upon you. Right. So it's this weird situation that we have, because they're supposed to technically, I believed, be looking out for the have a fiduciary responsibility to the consumer. But I don't believe that's necessarily the case. I believe that the fiduciary responsibility is to the agents.
Right.
Which there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
Because the reason I'm doing this is for the consumer.
Right. And if it's for the consumer, Why are we spending all our time recruiting agents?
So now that's it. Because
Right?
now what you just said about creating this awareness, of what our state, the great things that are here in our state, with all this money that's being generated. But now the question is going to be, how do you generate the money without recruiting the agents? Because the money's coming in through the agents that are being trained.
That's how the board's making money.
Right.
Right?
So now where's the money come from? Is it just dues? It's dues from the agents that are solid,
Right.
that are staying here for more than 4 years, that are doing more than 3 deals a year across the whole state.
If you have one board or maybe a couple localized boards, not
food for
20, you have a lot less income. It's kind of like our government, right? Bigger government, more tax money being spent.
I love how
on regulation.
I love how you and I can sit down though, and we can actually have a conversation about this.
Right.
And sometimes agree to disagree, but some good things come from that.
Absolutely.
As opposed to maybe
This is the way it's always been done. Like, we have 20 boards because Greenwich, Connecticut, doesn't want to let anybody into their little...
I thought it was Greenwich.
It's not Greenwich for some... some people that might think it's Greenwich. But here's the thing. Like, what worked 40 years ago,
10 years ago.
10 years ago, isn't what's working today. Like, we didn't have everything that we have at our fingertips. People are doing conference calls to people in China, like on video Skype, on different things. Like, you're telling me you need 20 boards in the little tiny state of Connecticut?
But within each board, you don't want people that are all like-minded as well.
No.
You want people
Right.
that are, it's a fractured.
We can
you want
learn
people to disagree with one
We
another.
can learn
so
a
that-
lot from those peeps in Greenwich.
That's right. But you should, like our group. Our
Right.
group it's people made up, they're very driven, but they come from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And they have different ideas. And that's
right.
what makes us so strong.
Yeah.
But if you're in a board and you're looking for people of all the same exact mindset that are going to agree with you, it doesn't work.
No,
Because you
and-
never get anything accomplished.
You can't R&D if you're just staying in your little cocoon. And R&D meaning, research and develop, or rip off and duplicate.
Hey.
which is literally just look at who's doing things great and then use it to your advantage.
Mimic.
Now, if we're sharing as a state, we're going to be able to grow that much faster.
Or
We're
even
going to
our
be able to
neighbors, Rhode Island,
or Rhode Island,
Massachusetts, New York.
and put out this message. I mean, I like it in-house, not 20 boards
Yeah.
competing against each other. The reason why I like it in-house for the state of Connecticut and then in-house for the state of Rhode Island, whatever state you're in, is you can truly now compete for
Sure.
what's important to your agent, which is more people in the state of which they serve
Yeah.
and the community that they serve.
Absolutely. I agree. And that being said, you've got me all fired up this morning. Now I gotta go get some Reiki.
Get some Reiki in. See ya.